Since my dad has been diagnosed it's almost a year, July 19th, I really feel like I understand the meaning of life. And it is not how you die, it is how you live.
Right.
And whatever you want to say in this kind of environment, the thing that surprises me most is, I was talking about this with you, Joy, that I don't understand what kind of environment you're working in when that would be acceptable, and then you can come to work the next day and still have a job.
As of this morning, White House aide Kelly Sadler still does have her job, despite reportedly mocking Senator John McCain's battle with brain cancer during a White House meeting. After McCain, who survived torture while he was a POW in Vietnam, announced his opposition to Gina Haspel as CIA director over her refusal to condemn the use of torture by us. Sources say that Sadler responded, quote, "It doesn't matter, he's dying anyway." My panel is back with me. So, this is difficult because the White House is in an awkward position here. Because it's the question, I was talking with one of my colleagues here in the hallway, downstairs, who would be the person that would issue the denunciation and fire her? Donald Trump is the boss.
Right.
And he talks this way about John McCain. I mean, he hasn't said this particular thing.
Nobody in the White House has the kind of integrity to stand up and say this is an issue. You would think Kelly would be the person because he's in the military that he would do it. But no, they're all engaged in this behavior. And this is their communication strategy. They're the cat on the basketball court who's always saying something. Then when you turn around, it's like, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the guy who already left. That's how they all behave. So what I find so disturbing about this is not just that this is what was said, but that other people in the room obviously thought it was a problem, leaked the story out, but there's no one there to say, yeah, and this is the line that must be drawn. And that's what we've constantly had with this administration, whether it's S-hole countries, whether it's Tillerson, whether it's Kelly, what they say about Donald Trump. No one seems to like what's being said, but no one has the backbone to do anything.
But it seems, Republicans that I've talked to have said that what people are upset about now is that it leaked, right? That that's what people are. I mean, you've had Lindsey Graham come out and condemn this. Joe Biden's come out and condemned it. Obviously, the McCain family, Cindy McCain. But you still don't. It's similar to the other sort of Trump-ish scandals, is that people all get upset, but nothing ever happens.
Right. Right. And that's why this continues to happen, because there is zero accountability in the Trump administration. And the fact that she felt comfortable enough in a room that large, knowing that people leak things, that she felt comfortable enough to make a statement like that. What else is being said that has not been leaked?
Yeah.
And so I think that, speaks to the larger issue. When you have an environment where it's not that Trump is the only person that knows that there's no accountability. Everybody who works for Trump knows there's no accountability. No one's focused on Jared Kushner anymore. He's broken every law in the book, right? No one cares. Look at Scott Pruitt. Scott Pruitt continues to basically loot the Treasury and the taxpayer, right? Nobody cares. And so this is part of that issue.
And you know what? Last night on Bill Maher's show, there was a gentleman, Congressman Hunter. I want to say he might be Duncan Hunter's son.
Duncan Hunter's son.
Yeah, and he is a military veteran who essentially kind of excused this. I mean, the problem is that even within military members of Trump's base, is there real outrage that this is the way people talk about a war hero like John McCain?
No, and I have to tell you, as a military person, and as I like to say, an old Navy chief, all right, and the difference between what's going on with Trump's military base and the rest of the military is very weird. I mean, we have people who are behaving in sort of flight line field conditions where they can make all the insulting jokes that they want, and it's going to be accepted. But you're talking about the man who took 5 draft deferments, who hid from the Vietnam War, who joked about how avoiding STDs was his way of combat. And these military people love him. All right?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to come right out and say it. Not honorable military veterans. Because an honorable military veteran, if they had heard this story, would have said, you know what, there's a line. That line has now been crossed. But they have this cultish love of him where the love of Donald Trump exceeds the Constitution. And it exceeds the love of the honor of everyone who has sacrificed and lost in this nation.
And the people in Trump base don't care if Russia meddled in the election. Don't mind if John McCain and Kazir Khan are denigrated. I mean, are we at a tipping point where people literally just don't, it doesn't matter what he says and does or what his team says and does?
It doesn't matter what his team says and does. It doesn't matter how ridiculous their explanations are. I love the fact, and I've mentioned this before, wasn't it just 2 weeks ago they were saying, oh my gosh, Michelle Wolf is the worst person in the world for making fun of this administration?
Smoky eye jokes are the worst.
Smoky eye jokes are the worst thing in the world, but now you make fun of someone dying and they're like, I can't believe you guys are coming at us.
There's a part of that that's saying, and if you don't support Gina Haspel, you just don't support women.
Right. But here's the other thing. thing. John McCain has voted with Donald Trump 83% of the time.
Right.
And the expectation was that he was only going to vote for 538 analysis. He should have only voted with him 61% of the time.
Yeah.
And so they're also someone who's been, he may have said things, but he supported this administration.
There isn't a pushback. Well, Malcolm Nance, Tara Dowdell, Jason Johnson, thank you all very much. Maureen, Jordan.